Hi guys, good morning and welcome to week 9 of 2DV013 Cloud Native Applications. It is extremely quiet for us, I think, in all the chats and on campus as well. And it's because it's autumn break and because there are deadlines in all the other courses at the same time this week. All of the loose ends that people have from the spring have to be fixed now, or like that other course that you have. But yeah, a bit disappointing, I think, for me that you are not prioritizing this course. But yeah, it is what it is. It's gonna be a problem later in the spring because spring is gonna be really intense for us as teachers, especially me and Mats. So we're gonna be really busy with the other courses. So you're not gonna be able to get help with your resubmissions and if you have any issues then with infrastructure or something. Yeah. So now I talked a bit with Diego that the first part of the course, which is introduction to infrastructure and DevOps, is you sort of done with it, right? Now you corrected all the assignments, Diego.
Yep. And I finished it on Thursday and notified on Friday. Yeah, it's maybe on Wednesday I was more optimistic because so far, it's happening that in the first submissions, most of them had passed. I had like 90% success rate, and then the next ones were made the average similar to last year. So on Wednesday I was quite optimistic. Now I'm not disappointed, but no, the assignments with problems were in the end.
Yeah.
No, so the people who passed got notified about pass. People who had to make changes got notified about making changes, and there were very few, like 3, 4, who had tried to do nice things in the code, like for instance the jump serve or using uh, modules for configuring MySQL in Ansible. So I saw the code; it looked nice. So they were doing something extra, but it didn't work for some reason. So these ones remain without grade because I would like to have a short meeting online with them, and they can show me what they tried, and we will see if it deserves directly a pass. This one without resubmitting in the retake. No, this was a high quality, but maybe it worked in their machines and not in general. And then it's this trade-off. They try to do more than necessary, but I couldn't execute it on my machine.
Yeah, resubmission for that assignment is 8th of November, so it's a bit like a week more. So next week on Friday, right? Yeah. So we'll see how many how many you have to correct afterwards. So this is like I'm looking. We are here now, week 44, week 9 of the course. According to our plan, we are starting now with Kubernetes. As I said, like I don't know how many of you actually have went through all the Docker exercises because I haven't seen so many questions about it, and those of you who I talked to on campus at least haven't even started last week. So
and there should be questions, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like with the teaching assistants that went through those had some questions, so I'm assuming that it's always. I mean, as we talked about with you as well, right? Even for experienced people like you and I, we have done this many times. We've done this last year. You have done this last year, and still, like there are some updates. There's something doesn't work. It always takes a while to debug. With infrastructure, it takes a while until you know if it worked or not. so like it takes a lot of time even if you know what you're doing, and then if it's the first time, it is like almost guaranteed that it's not going to work. And then you have to try to figure it out. And please, like, don't sit there alone trying to do that. So ask questions in Slack, ask questions on site. And later, when you're going to work on a group project together in a pretty short time, just a couple of months, it is, I think, extremely important to sit together. And you have a room booked for the workshops here. We will also have interactive workshops. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to have then a sign up for that because yeah. But we start then. We have updated. You have updated the. This is mine. The so-called work in progress.
Well, I skipped the WIP part of the infrastructure.
Work is done.
Well,
progress.
For now, at least.
Yeah. So it's probably not going to be that different if you haven't done this course before. So you basically just start from scratch and you try to get this infrastructure up and running. If you've seen or if you watch any older videos, you will notice differences. But I guess for the students or for like the users of infrastructure in the assignment 2 and then in the group project, it's not that many differences. But for us, it was important.
Well,
to try to
if
make
any
it
at
nicer.
all, to be frank,
Yeah.
I think it looks a bit different, but you handle it the same.
Exactly. So should we go like really quickly through what has been updated, or maybe even like how does it work now, basically, not so much into the differences?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know
really what the differences are, and well, the only thing I can say that this works. Well, if you scroll up, but because there is an important part here. There's critical notice. Previous years we had script that you need to run in several steps. Now it is one time shot, so to speak. But you need to allow a script to be executed on your host machine. If you don't do this, it won't work. That's how it is. So don't miss this part if you're sitting on a Mac or some Ubuntu or whatever, a Linux-based system. If you're running like Windows and PowerShell, you don't need to bother with this at all, because everything works if you use PowerShell, for example.
Yeah, so I think I actually did that, and it still didn't completely run through because maybe it is one more script that you need to update. But yeah, basically, if you have a Mac, this won't work out of the box. I don't know, Shemil, how many of you have it. Maybe it's some similar on the Linux based system. So I'm going to be pushing like a branch for Mac because that's what I have as well. And especially if you have a newer Mac, which has ARM architecture instead of Intel, there are also more updates for Terraform. So just slightly different syntax of like the commands and the template provider and variables and so on. So you also get that, and if you use this operating system, so just let us know. That should we figure it out together. I think maybe 90% from my like understanding. I haven't actually done like statistics this year, but like 90% of you have Windows. But we can have like quick check on Slack if someone if someone needs help with that. But yeah, it's good that we are two and we test it on both systems at least. So it's that, and I think that's if we look at like what's the plan for basically upcoming 2 weeks. I'm gonna change here. It should say 9-10. So for 2 weeks, it's planned that you both for development environment, so locally you install everything that's needed for testing Kubernetes deployment, and then everything in production, which will be this basically going through this repo, all the instructions, all the README, and trying to get your OpenStack on CS Cloud work in the same way, and then taking that example GTI app. So just make sure that you go to the Kubernetes example instead of just the Docker one. So it's a separate repo, and then you try to deploy all that. And why is so both for the group project, you understand how it's done, and then assignment 2 is also an extension of the GTI application. So if you start off with like, yes, I have my example app, I can deploy it with the CI pipeline, all my infrastructure works, then from that point you can start focusing on basically the programming tasks that need to be added here and all the other stuff. But like if you don't go through that first setup, it will be very difficult to focus on like, oh, what design patterns should we use and what do we do there. So I think it's basically now you have you really have to start working with that. Yes, but I think a few people also asked, like, since we were waiting for this update, oh, can we start working on assignment 2? Yes, you can start it like the opposite the opposite way. I think it's nice to start with just a fork of the example project and just change it a little bit. Some people were like a bit confused, I think, and were trying to like implement everything from scratch based on like this exercises. So like if you just go through theories and demos, it goes through like how to do everything from scratch. But that you don't really have to do that, because we provide with support on that part. So leverage the examples and just start from that. Here we also have some videos which we potentially also need to revise and see if we have time to record something new. If that would be the case, it probably comes out this week or next week. Yeah, that was what I wanted to say. Then there's some questions. Unless you do you want to say something else, Mats?
Nope.
I
think try it.
Let's go through questions. Number 1, is the Kubernetes part of the course this and next week, or only this week? It is this and next week. So 2 weeks, and then you have let's see if we go here. 22nd. Yeah, so we are here, Kubernetes, and then 2 weeks basically to complete the assignment. So that's how it's taught. So somewhere here, week 46, we should also go through asynchronous communication. So you can implement what's needed in the programming part of assignment 2. But yeah, basically, if you are aiming for the first deadline for the submission of assignment 2, you have to figure out all your infrastructure, CI/CD pipeline in Kubernetes this or next week. So is that. And Anna is asking if we will get a new video recording. Yeah, I'm gonna see what's like the difference if we need it. I think that the theory of it and like reflections is basically the same. The difference would be how the network sort of setup is organized in CS Cloud. So it's both it's a bit simpler and a little more sort of logical to how it's done in other systems now. But I'll see if another video is needed. And of course, if you have watched the old one and you think like, yeah, this is not super clear, or I think this update is needed, so just let us know and post on Slack. As well. But yeah, that's something I'm gonna look at today. I just wanted to also make sure it works on my Mac. So that's the plan. So those were the questions. Nothing else. I think in Slack is pretty quiet. So just a reminder, if you need help during the either online workshop or on site, please sign up for it in Slack. So just because so we can also plan our time. That's it, I think. Quick today. Anything else from you guys, Diego, Mats, or are we happy with this?
Well, you and I have to look at this Mac part of this Terraform script.
Yeah. We have some stuff to do as well.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck to you guys with all the infrastructure stuff. Please try all the instructions and just shoot the questions in Slack or the workshops if something is not working, and we'll make sure that it's up and running as it should. So, and have a good week. Bye.
Bye.